Here we go, guys. This is it. This is the results video for the cleaning submissions that I did with ANACS. So after I submitted them, I did have somebody make a comment about I should have done a control group. So that's what I did, and that does make sense as far as if we want to see if we're going to get better grades. My main objective was just to try to slide them through and try to see if we could get away without getting a details grade with these different cleaners, but that's a good idea, so I did that. So let me start out with the control group and we'll just see what we got. All right, control group. Let's see what kind of grades we got here. Keep in mind, uncleaned. 1961. I mean, I probably won't spend a lot of time zooming in on each one because all we want to see is what kind of grades we were getting. So I have 50 of these 1961 proof sets. If you want to watch the video of me opening those, click that link. So I just went down, grabbed a group of them, took them out of the wrapper, sent them in. So PF 68, proof 68, red. PF 67. To be honest, I feel it's kind of pointless to zoom in on them. You just can't tell once the plastic's over them. You see all kind of slight scratches and whatnot. So 67 on the dime. 67 on the quarter. And a 65 on the Franklin, which I probably should have looked a little closer because you do see milk spot right above the date there, but I just kind of grabbed it and ran with it. So that's probably knocking me down a little lower there with that milk spot for sure. Yeah, it looks a little nicer. But all of these coins, when I looked at them through the plastic, through the cellophane, they all look pretty darn similar. So had I been able to get one without milk spots, I probably would have gotten, closer to a 66, 67. Maybe I just got unlucky with this one. Okay, let's move on to the clean coins. I'm going to start with the Acetone, then the MS-70, and then the eZest last, because I feel the eZest was the harshest cleaner and the Acetone being the weakest cleaner. Are you nervous? How do you want me to do this? Should I just tear it off like a Band-Aid, or let's just do it. I'm gonna just do it. Ugh. First one, cleaned with Acetone. Proof 67. So the penny on the control was a 68. All of the others were 67s, and the half was a 65. So you might think, that's maybe he lost because of the cleaning, but if they could have detected the cleaning, it would have been a details grade. So we got away with it on the penny. Got away with it on the nickel. Got away with it on the dime. Got away with it on the quarter. And got away with it on the Kennedy. So all of them with Acetone all came back 67. And I mean, again, zooming in, once it's in the plastic, you see a lot more lines and whatnot just from the plastic, but it's a nice coin for sure. There's your quarter. Dime. Look at these beautiful cleaned coins. And if you watch the old video, which is right there, you'll see that I actually cleaned the nickel twice, I think it was, because I was getting it with a hazing between the... Man, guys, I have been out of this for so long, I'm forgetting the terminology. Between the devices and the fields, I was still getting a little bit of hazing in there, and it was bugging me. So I cleaned this one twice, and I'm telling you guys, I didn't just roll the Q-tip like so many say to do in all the videos. I was scrubbing that thing. I was getting in there and I was going around it, and I thought, as I was doing it, I thought, oh, this is definitely gonna get a details grade. But when you think about it, I mean, when you really think about it, you get all these guys that say, oh my gosh, don't touch the coins. How could you be touching the coins? And you have other guys that, you know, oh, wear gloves, wear gloves. Wear gloves, don't scratch them, don't handle them, just treat them like they're a baby or something, like finer than a baby. Guys, it's a cotton swab and you're rubbing it against metal. Yeah, you could, if you were really scrubbing that sucker, you could put some really fine lines on it, but this is even a proof coin. You've got very shiny fields, and if you scrub on that, in theory, it's gonna put, you know, lines in it, but it didn't. At least if it did, it was undetectable by them, and the grade came back the same as the control group. So I'm gonna say BS to the guys that say don't rub them. And furthermore, I'll tell you too, I've sent in a lot of other coins that I've cleaned since I did this video, and so far I have not been caught with the acetone. So moving on to the MS70. All right, guys, MS70 group. PF67 red, no details grade. PF67, no details. PF67, no details. PF67, no details. PF67, no details. All of the MS70 group got through. And again, you know, guys, I was actually scrubbing on these with the Q-tips, and not only did I just scrub on them with the Q-tips, I actually used some soap, just some foaming soap that I was trying to get some of this stuff off, because I just, you know, I actually tried a lot more than was in that video. When I dried them, I would take them out. So with the MS70, you get, you know, you use the Q-tip, but then I was rinsing it under the water, and I was going like this with my thumbs. And I thought for sure, I'm gonna get some kind of, like a lesser grade or less, you know, details grade, whatever. With the MS70, it's slimy. And so I just kept running it under warm water and rubbing my thumbs across it like this until it stopped with the sliminess. Not hard though, you know, I was kind of letting there be, you know, a lubricant in between. I didn't, because I have callous fingertips. I work with my hands, so I was concerned about rubbing on them too hard and putting scratches in them. But 67 plus no details. When I got done washing them, I actually took my towel, put them in the towel, and then I would squeeze them like this, because my towel was kind of not a super soft dish towel. And I just squeezed them like that, and then I took them out and I put them in my shirt. I put my hand in my shirt and I just put them there, and I took my hand in the other side of the shirt, a nice cotton shirt, and I just kind of rotated them and pressed them. But I mean, I wasn't being extremely careful. You know, I was rubbing them even with my shirt, I'm sure. Guys, I'm telling you, if you would have seen how I clean these things, anybody with coin experience would have been saying, there's no way, there's no way. Proof's in the pudding, right there, guys. 67s, no details. I'm telling you guys, these things are not embryos. I mean, you can handle them. You can do things with them. Now, I would say as far as the handling, if you're gonna handle them and then put your fingers all over the faces and the reverses and then put them in a bag and shove them in storage for decades, you are probably gonna get some kind of toning with fingerprints in it, but you're not gonna ruin the coin, really. I mean, toning, oxidation, this and that, I mean, it happens to coins that don't get touched either. So, I mean, I know I'm gonna make a lot of people mad with this video saying that you can do all these things, but boom, right here, guys, this is the proof right in front of you. So that's the MS70 group. Now, eZest. eZest is the one that I was the most concerned about, if for nothing else but the penny. Because when I put that penny in there, that thing just got really bright. And I thought, there's no way that they're gonna look at that penny and consider it to be uncleaned or undipped. Now, you have to think too, I don't know how these grading companies think, but I know PCGS is extremely picky and they love to keep out anything they can, because it jacks up the price of all their registered coins. However, if you look at a brand new penny, it kind of has the same coloring as an eZest dipped penny. And I'm telling you guys, I didn't think it was gonna pass. There it is. Proof 66, no details, red. Well, let's compare it here. Now, you can't really tell, to be totally honest, in this lighting. But there is a difference when you hold them right next to each other. But it is what it is. I mean, the mentality in PCGS is they're gonna be extremely cautious about everything, and they don't want anything getting in there that is even suspicious. I think the mentality of ANACS is more, if you can't tell it was cleaned, then they're not gonna label it as a details clean coin. I'm more along those lines. Why the heck should you get dinged if there's no physical evidence of it being a clean coin? So I like ANACS, and I'm gonna go over at the end of this video something with you guys, and I want you to give me your opinions. Anyway, penny passed, nickel passed, 66. What do we have here? 66 as well. So 66, 66, 68 on the silver. Keep in mind the different metals is something I was concerned about. 68 on the quarter and 67 on the Franklin. This group had the most variation in grades of all of them, but again, my biggest concern was just seeing if I could get away with the details grade. You don't want to clean your coin and then find out that you just ruined it as far as grading goes. So 66, 66 on penny and nickel, 68 quarter and dime, 67 on the Franklins. So if the control group had a 65 on the Franklins, I got 67 on every single clean group. I don't necessarily think that's because I cleaned it. I think it's just the variations in the different qualities of the coins among those 50 packs of 61 proof sets. I do think that most of the coins in those packs are going to be 67s, just in general. That just seems to be the most common grade of all of these. I am happy to get a 68 on these two though, so there might be something to be said about the silver on the eZest. Maybe I'll do some more challenges of that down the road. Something I want to pose to you guys, because I know there's going to be the ANACS haters out there who are going to say, well, that's because ANACS isn't as good as PCGS, and they don't search as good, they don't use the same microscopes. Who knows? I mean, again, if you have to look through an extremely powerful microscope to check these coins, then it's like, what's the point? I don't know. To me, everybody's got their, opinions of what a good coin is, a perfect coin, this and that. I mean, as with anything, you're going to have controversy in the field. So I want to do the same test with PCGS. I have a membership with PCGS. That's why I'm not suggesting NGC at this point. I think I'll do a PCGS test and then see how it comes back, and then perhaps I will subscribe to NGC for a year just to see how they would grade them. So the question I'm posing to you is, if I do a PCGS test, maybe it'll be determined by the response I get to this video, because I'm telling you guys, this cost me about, I can't remember exactly, I think it was $400 or $500 in grading fees for these coins through ANACS. ANACS is a lot cheaper. ANACS is a lot faster. I got almost all of these back within 2 weeks, and I know with PCGS it's probably going to cost me, gosh, something like $700 or more. And the question I have to pose is, should I send in all new coins out of the lot of the 61 proofs that I have, seeing as how we're gonna kind of just assume they should all be about 67 within, 1 or 2 grades of 67? Or should I send these in and do a crossover? My problem with that is, if I do that, I worry whenever you send in a crossover, they're going to be influenced by the existing grade on it. I know they say they aren't, but they will be. Or should I cut them out of here, break them out, and send in all the exact same coins? I think as far as a scientific study would go, that would be the way to do it. However, I do worry that what if PCGS labels them as details, and then I just kind of ruined the whole thing, even though these aren't incredibly valuable, but with the amount of money I'm dumping into all these, I would hate to see them get one as details. I think my preferred way of doing it would be to send in all new coins and clean them similarly and see what grades I get. That's my preferred way. But I know the more scientific way would be break them out, send in the exact same coins. Maybe I wouldn't have, if I do it that way, maybe I don't have to do the control group, because what's the point really, other than seeing maybe a difference in grading from PCGS? But man, that's like another $150 at least right there. Gosh, I haven't been using PCGS for so long, I've forgotten what they charge. I think it's $28 minimum for a coin. So, well, I don't know, maybe they've got economy stuff, I don't know. That and the fact that, the last submission I got with PCGS took me 6 months to get back. You guys were bugging me after a month doing this one, which is fine. And I could have done this a month after doing it, but I got so busy with everything else, life and just work and everything. So I apologize that this took so long. However, now you know you can clean your coins and you can send them to ANACS, which I would suggest using as your grading company anyway, because they are cheaper and quicker. And I can't say that they're less critical of the coins, but I've been getting similar grades in my coins that I've sent. I've sent a lot of Morgans to PCGS, and I've sent a lot of Morgans to ANACS now, and they all came back similar grades, or right, you know how I grade coins. If you watch my other videos, I'm not great at it. I'm usually a little high. I've been getting the same results with ANACS. So I would say as far as grading goes, they're right in the same ballpark as PCGS. My big question is how about, and I don't even care honestly because I hate PCGS. So I'm not going to send much stuff to PCGS anymore. And I hate to give them my money. However, for the audience, for you guys, I'd be willing to spend the money and do a PCGS one. Let me know what your thoughts are on it. How should I go about submitting that? Give me as much feedback as you can, and I will roll with that. And I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the interest I've had in the original video. And if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. Please hit the like button. It all helps me get a little bit money back from doing these kinds of experiments. Right now, I'm way in the hole as far as the amount of money I put into coins versus what I've gotten out of YouTube, but every little bit helps. So I really appreciate it, guys. Let me know what you think, especially about a PCGS submission. And sorry it took so long. I will see you guys on the next one.